Tell me if you felt like this in the last month, maybe 2 months. Have you felt insecure about your piano teaching? Have you felt disillusioned with this whole career? Have you felt just crabby, just a bit off? It happens to all of us, and there's a reason for it, and we often misdiagnose why we feel these things. So we've all dealt with insecurity and imposter syndrome from time to time. Yes, pretty much all of us in some aspect of our teaching or business have felt this way. Felt like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. There's no right way, so that's the answer to that one. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I can really teach this type of music, or I don't know if I'm really cut out to run my own business. A lot of us have also felt disillusioned, apathetic about our teaching. Just feeling like, is any of this making any difference? Even though we can see the difference right in front of our eyes. Or am I just repeating Groundhog Day style, the same thing all the time? What's the point to any of this if we want to get existential? Or maybe you've been feeling crabby. This happens to all of us. I often get comments, as I'm sure you do, from students saying how patient we are. And my response is always, well, I'm not actually patient because I'm not exercising patience. To me, being patient means like I feel like I want to snap or give up on something, and yet I continue. Whereas most of my teaching experience is I'm in the moment with the student. I don't feel impatient for them to get anywhere, so I'm not exercising patience on any of it. But if we feel like we really are, if we feel like we want to snap, if we feel like we want to just move on from something because we can't work on that anymore, not because the student should move on from it, we're starting to get a little bit crabby, a little bit out of sorts. So if you felt any of these things, you've probably tried some of these things to solve it. You might have tried scrolling Instagram or TikTok or whatever your preferred app is. Basically just spending time swiping on your phone in some way or another. Or maybe you've tried watching YouTube, like this video you're watching right now. It doesn't have to be because you're feeling disillusioned or crabby, but it could be. Could be your moment where you're saying, okay, I need to do something to get myself out of this funk, and so you clicked on this video. Maybe you've tried taking a break, like taking a morning off or taking several weeks off, and thinking that will reset things. Or maybe you've tried getting more involved in your professional development, subscribing to memberships maybe, like my own membership, Vibrant Music Teaching. Did any of those work? Here's why they probably didn't. On the Instagram front, that probably didn't work, as we know, I think, from witnessing our students with their phones. That probably didn't work because it was a temporary endorphin rush, maybe, at the maximum benefit, or just like a boredom buster, or just an itch that we felt like we had to touch our phone. You know, I saw something on my phone the other day on someone's Instagram where they had taken, I don't know what they called it, but let's say selfie of shame, a little quick video, every time they had picked up their phone when they were supposed to be practicing piano. Sometimes I feel like we need that little touch of reality for ourselves too. So after you scroll like, really think about it. You put your phone down, stop the next time you do it, and give yourself a second to say, how do I feel? Marks out of 10. You know, if I was feeling angry before, do I feel less angry? Do I feel more angry? Do I feel the same? Do I now have a new emotion attached, which I didn't have before? Maybe now I feel tired. I'm less angry, but I'm actually tired instead. Is that better? Maybe. Right? But really, just taking a moment every time we put down our phones to check, how do I feel? This is not for me to say, you spend so much time on your phone. I don't know what too much time is. It's different for each person, and I'm not here to police screen time. I'm honestly not. But I think we need to be honest with ourselves about the balance that actually is helpful, feels good, gives us some benefit, versus when we're just doing it to do something. Okay, what about the YouTube thing? Is this helping? Well, I hope this video helps in particular. But in general, does watching a video help? Sometimes. If we're just like a little bit out of sorts, I think we can watch a video that's in our genre of choice. Maybe it is about piano teaching, but maybe it's also something that makes us laugh. Maybe it's something with a human emotion behind it that helps bring us out of ourselves. Maybe that can help. When we're dealing with something bigger, a bigger case of crabbiness, it usually won't help. And the reason is because it's one-sided. I'm talking to you. I hope that you'll comment back. Please do right now if you haven't already. But it is sort of one-sided, right? I feel you there, but you are just the other side of a camera. You're not really there in real time. Okay, breaks then. Why doesn't a break work? Surely that's the classic antidote if we're feeling all these things. To take a break, to take some time off. I've advocated for this before. I absolutely believe that breaks can be helpful. The thing about breaks in terms of fixing disillusionment, imposter syndrome, general crabbiness with our work hasn't changed when we go back. So sometimes a break helps because, again, if we're just a little bit out of sorts, we need some time off. We need to relax. Whether that's, we're a little bit out of sorts and therefore a morning will do. We go for a nice walk in the woods and that resets things, or whether we need several weeks off to really recharge. Those tend to be better antidotes to feelings of burnout, feelings of being overtired, feelings of just not having the enthusiasm anymore. But we're talking about a slightly different ilk today. And why wouldn't a membership help? I love my membership. I really believe that it can help you with so many things. It helps mostly when you need help with how to teach, resources to save you time with your teaching, learning how to run your business better, learning lots of new things. It also connects you with other teachers, but it's not the same as the real solution to this problem. The real thing you need, the real thing that will make this better, in my opinion, is to get together with other teachers, ideally in real life, in person. I found that to be the best thing to fix these feelings and to stop them from coming about if we do that regularly. That's not going to solve every case. I'm not saying this is a one-size-fits-all solution, but in many cases, if you can get together with another group of teachers, like-minded at least in the fact that they're open-minded like you are, they don't have to have the same teaching philosophies, they just have to be open and enthusiastic about exploring new ideas. If we can get together with them, that's when these feelings start to go away. That's when we can really make a difference. Now, the caveat I'll put in here is if you absolutely can't ever meet other teachers in person, meet them on Zoom. I'm not saying that's nothing. That's fantastic. And if you have a young kid and you have to stay home with them, if you are caring for someone else and you have to be at home, if you have any other reason why you just can't travel, I get it. And that's why we have things like the Zoom meetups in the Vibrant Music Teaching membership, and there's loads of other ways to connect with teachers online. That's not for nothing. This video is sponsored by Vibrant Music Teaching. Leave boredom, burnout, and imposter syndrome behind with vibrantmusicteaching.com. Access a library of games, courses, and tools to keep your students engaged and learning. Join a global community of music teachers and grow your skills with confidence. Sign up today and bring fresh energy to your lessons. But the best thing is an in-person conference. An in-person meetup of some kind. A retreat, a conference, something that happens in real life with people in the same room as each other. That's not dead. That's not gone away in the age of AI or whatever. That's the most important thing we can do. And it's more important for piano teachers than for many other professions because most other people have colleagues and most piano teachers don't have colleagues in person. Even if you do, you might not spend a lot of time with them. And you might be, like I am, the boss. It's great that I have 2 other teachers working here. I love spending time with them and talking about teaching. But, they are my employees. It's not the same as just meeting up with peers and learning things together and exploring ideas together. So, That's why I finally decided to do it. We're putting on an Irish Piano Pedagogy Conference, IPPC for short. The Irish Piano Pedagogy Conference. A little bit of a mouthful, but it has to be specific as to what it is. So we're putting on the first one. There have been conferences here in the past. I'm just saying this is the first that's a general Irish Piano Pedagogy Conference. It's going to be next June 6th and 7th. And if you can come to it at all, I would love you to. The website is IPPC.ie. Maybe you're able to travel to Ireland for it. Maybe you live here and you're able to travel just to Dublin, or if you're in Dublin, just to Dublin too for a couple of days. Not such a big ask. But even if you can't, I do want you to take this encouragement to go look up right now, where can you meet other teachers in person? Maybe it's a conference, a local meetup, a coffee club. If there's nothing that's accessible to you, maybe you can start one right now. After all, that's what I decided to do. Not just a meetup, but a full-blown conference. So, why? Why have I decided to take this on? Running events is not the easiest thing in the world. We all know that. It is something I feel pretty confident with, but still, I had to think carefully about this decision. I didn't want to do this unless I could go all in and really work over the next several years to establish this as a normal thing that piano teachers in Ireland do, because that's not how it is here right now. As I said, you're welcome from anywhere, but my mission is to establish this as something that happens every year here and becomes a normal part of piano teachers' life here in Ireland. So I made this decision to go ahead with it. I've been inspired by many conferences that I've visited over the last many years at this stage, all over the world, and decided we need it here. We need it to happen. And if I can make it happen, then I should do that. And I've been getting input from Irish teachers. I contacted basically all the Irish teachers that I know and asked them for their input on when it should be and what it should be like and different options that we need to have in place. And I'm continuing to get their input as we go through this process, through a steering committee of a small group of teachers from around Ireland who are giving me their input, ideas, help along the way as we develop this conference. But no matter what, it's going ahead. The venue is booked. It's happening. So again, the website is IPPC.ie, and you can go there to buy a ticket if that's what you want to do right now. What you can also do there right now is just submit a proposal. And that's the part 2 of how you can really get yourself out of this funk that you're in, is to go ahead and share a teaching idea with colleagues. Yes, you can just show up to one of these events and that will help you so much. But I believe even more so, you can cure yourself by getting involved with the community, by sharing with other teachers. So why not put your hand up? If you think you can make it to Dublin on June 6th and 7th, go ahead and submit a proposal. It can be about an aspect of your business that you've improved on recently. It can be about a certain aspect of teaching that you feel confident in. Or it can be about something that you've struggled with and the things you're trying to do to fix it. It can be an opportunity for you to do more research. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to be willing to get up in front of a room full of piano teachers and share your thoughts with them. So go ahead and submit your proposal if you're ready to take that leap at IPPC.ie. There's a big button there that says submit a proposal. So that's where you do it. And the deadline for that is January 31st. Now, here's my final question to you. When was the last time you hung out with other teachers in real life? And what was that experience like? What did you walk away feeling? I would love to hear about your experiences.